If Pep Guardiola and Jurgen Klopp have taught us anything, it's that you don't need a traditional centre-forward to be successful. Quite the contrary. Manchester City won the title largely by relying on their inside forwards to grab the goals, while Mohamed Salah and Sadio Mane are both perennial Golden Boot contenders. Look across the Premier League landscape and wide forwards are dominating the scoring charts. Bukayo Saka top scored for Arsenal, Son Heung-min for Tottenham and the whole Premier League, and Jarrod Bowen for West Ham. You get the idea. As with all our transfer shortlists this summer, we've identified key metrics to narrow our search. For this video, we're focusing on non-penalty expected goals, open play expected assists, touches in the opposition box, fouls won, and take-ons completed. We're looking for wingers with the end product. Unsurprisingly, Vinícius Júnior tops the rankings, so here are some names you might not have heard of. Luis Diaz may be the current poster boy of Colombian football, but Feyenoord's Luis Sinisterra is certainly not a player to overlook. The 22-year-old was the only player in the Dutch top flight to complete over 100 take-ons in the 21-22 season, combining this wing wizardry with genuine end product. Sinisterra scored 12 goals and provided 7 assists, won the second most duels in the division, and registered the 4th most touches in the opposition box, a stat that was led by Ajax duo Dusan Tadic and Sebastian Aller. Of course, Feyenoord also reached the Europa Conference League final, where they just came up short to a Jose Mourinho-inspired Roma. But Sinisterra was key in their run to the inaugural showpiece as he top scored for the club with 11 goals in the competition, and was handed the competition's Young Player of the Season award too. Before deciding to splash the cash on Darwin Núñez, Liverpool were heavily linked to Martin TERRIER. Let's show you why. The 25-year-old flourished on the left flank, netting a quite ridiculous 19 non-penalty Ligue 1 goals, a tally that only Kylian Mbappe could better. Even more impressively, TERRIER was equal parts clinical and spectacular with his finishing. Kevin De Bruyne was the only other player in Europe's top 5 leagues that scored more than 10 goals from inside the box and more than 5 from outside of it. And of the 208 players that attempted 50 non-penalty shots, TERRIER was the 6th most accurate with his shooting and 13th most clinical. We could go on. Heading across the Atlantic, we wanted to cast a wide net. 19-year-old Thales Magno is tearing it up stateside. Before moving to MLS outfit New York City FC last year, the Rio de Janeiro native was generating plenty of buzz for Vasco da Gama, where a certain Ronaldinho once strutted his stuff. Bearing in mind he left before the start of the 2021 season, the Brazilian still ranks first for chances created, take-ons completed, and shots attempted when compared to teenagers in the Brasileirão from 2019 until now. The ambipedal 6'1" wide forward starred as NYCFC lifted the 2021 MLS Cup, while he also helped guide the club to the penultimate round of the 2022 CONCACAF Champions League. He was named in the tournament's Best 11 and scooped the Best Young Player award. Thales Magno, remember the name. Everyone loves a Brazilian wonder kid, so let's throw another one into the mix. Angelo Gabriel is a record-breaking 17-year-old who has emerged as the latest star off the Santos conveyor belt. Last year, he became the youngest goal scorer in Copa Libertadores history, breaking a record that at that point was nearly 60 years old. He made his Serie A bout at just 15 at the iconic Maracanã, becoming the 2nd youngest Santos player ever, and even surpassed Pele's debut by 11 days. Since making that debut, Angelo has attempted the 3rd most take-ons of any teenager in the Brazilian top flight, while he also boasts the best XA per 90 ahead of his teammate Sandri and Arsenal new boy Marquinhos. Moving back to the Eredivisie, let's talk about Jesper Karlsson. The 23-year-old is coming off the back of a truly remarkable campaign for RZ. Only 3 players scored more than his 17 Eredivisie goals in 21-22, but he added a further 13 assists, joining Dusan Tadic as the only 2 players to be directly involved in more than 30 goals in the division. Even more incredibly, his 7 goals from outside the box were more than any other player in Europe's top 7 leagues managed, let alone the Dutch top flight. Dejan Kulusevski and Anthony Elanga are seen as the future stars of Sweden's flanks, but Karlsson has certainly put his name into the conversation after a stellar 2021-22. Despite the hit-and-miss nature of Eredivisie signings, let's throw one more into the mix. At 6'2", CODY GAKPO is not your conventional wide forward, but his numbers certainly fit the brief. An explosive, towering presence, he ranked in the Eredivisie top 10 for take-ons attempted, shots, chances created, and fast breaks, and all this having only started 22 games, owing largely to an ankle injury that kept him sidelined in autumn. Only Dusan Tadic could better his 13 league assists, and more impressively, GAKPO's 0.33 XA from open play ranks him in the 95th percentile of this positional group. Expect to hear the 23-year-old's name a lot this summer. Perhaps considered more of an attacking midfielder, GIANLUCA CAPRARI's current role in Verona's 3-4-2-1 sees him consistently shift out wide to link up with attacking wingback Darko Lazovic. Last season, only Serie A MVP Rafael Leao attempted and completed more take-ons than CAPRARI, who also won 190 duels, created 63 chances, racked up 5.82 expected assists, and completed 8 through balls, which placed him in the top 10 for each metric among midfielders and forwards. Turning 29 this summer, he might not make a big money move, but looks destined for a famous intra-Serie A swap. Heading across to Turkey now, and KEREM AKTURKOGLU of Galatasaray is generating quite a bit of noise. The 23-year-old attempted the second most take-ons of any player in the Super League last term, behind only Munir Kwa, while he was one of only 4 players to register at least 5 assists and 10 goals across 2021-22. The entire Sassuolo front line will be attracting interest this summer, and Mohamed Traore is no exception. The 22-year-old Ivorian completed the 4th most take-ons in Serie A last term, despite relatively limited minutes, and also made 123 ball recoveries, the 5th most by any winger in the division. If Mohamed is too mainstream for you though, then check out his compatriot Simon Adingra. The 20-year-old ranks in the 95th percentile for non-penalty XG, touches in the opposition box, and take-ons attempted, all per 90, albeit in a weaker league. He completed more take-ons than any other player in the 2021-22 Danish Superliga and finished as FC Nordsjælland's top scorer. He looks set to follow in Kalmadine Sulemana's footsteps and secure a move to a top 5 league. So, which wide forwards do you want your club to sign? Let us know in the comments, and make sure to check out all our other transfer shortlist videos.